All right, everybody, it's 9 o'clock. Today is October 7th, 2025. It's 9 o'clock. Morris County Board of Commissioners come to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Additions or deletions to the agenda?
At this time, Mr. Chair.
What's your board? Motion approved. Motion by Commissioner Blaine, second by Commissioner Casper to approve the agenda. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of consent agenda. Is there anything within the consent agenda anyone would like to move for further discussion?
I'll make a move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion made by Commissioner Winter,
I'll second
second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Hearing none, this will be a roll call. Commissioner Blaine,
it. Aye.
Commissioner Casper,
Aye.
Commissioner Winter,
Aye.
Commissioner Moran,
Aye.
myself, Commissioner Ramirez, aye, motion carried. Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Wish you'd have you state your name for the record.
Good morning. Rocio Fernandez Lugo, lead advocate and domestic violence services coordinator.
Taylor Hernandez, Sexual Assault Services Coordinator. Chloe Callhammer, Child Abuse and General Crime Services Coordinator. Stephanie Ock, Executive Director.
Good morning. Welcome. You would like to proceed with reading your proclamation?
Sure. Domestic Violence Awareness Month, 2025 proclamation. Whereas 1 in every 4 women and 1 in 10 men will experience domestic violence during their lifetime, and approximately 15.5 million children are exposed to domestic violence every year. Whereas when a family member is abused, it can have long-term damaging effects on the victim, as well as family members, friends, and the community at large. Whereas families are indispensable to a stable society, and they should be a place of support to instill responsibility and values in the next generation. Whereas violence against women, men, and children is a prevalent public health problem that is widespread and devastating to society as a whole. Whereas the problem of domestic violence is not confined to any group or groups of people, but crosses all economic, racial, gender, educational, religious, and societal barriers. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control or abuse. Whereas victims should have help to find the compassion, comfort, and healing they need, and access to medical and legal services, counseling, emergency and transitional housing, and other supportive services so that they can escape the cycle of abuse, and domestic abusers should be punished to the full extent of the law. Whereas we encourage domestic violence victims and their families to seek assistance from appropriate victims services organizations such as Hands of Hope Resource Center. Whereas from October 1st, 2024 to the present, Hands of Hope Resource Center served 207 adults and 101 children victims of domestic violence. Whereas it is important to recognize the compassion and dedication of the individuals who provide services to victims of domestic violence and work to increase public understanding of the significant problem. Whereas Morrison County has a moral obligation to work to prevent domestic violence, address its brutal and destructive effects, and make ending domestic violence a local priority. Now, therefore, the Morrison County Commissioners at this moment proclaim the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all citizens to actively support Hands of Hope Resource Center's work towards the elimination of domestic violence. Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine, second by Commissioner Casper. Discussion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner
I'd
Moran.
just like to say thanks for all you do. It's important that the display out in the area there, it's great to make people aware of the domestic violence. As it says here, it can touch anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter where or who you are. And thanks for advocating and helping these people get in the right direction.
Anything else, gentlemen? Commissioner Casper?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I see you just in the last year here, there's like over 300 cases where you stepped in to help people, and thank you for doing that. A lot of people are without hope in the world, and you guys are a major defense right off the bat. Thank you for being there for these folks that are hurting. God bless your efforts. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
It's amazing, 308 people you've seen in a year. That's amazing. I would not have thought that many, and we should have help to find the compassion, comfort, and anything they need, and it's providing that. Appreciate that very much. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Like a picture?
That's true.
Thank you.
Yes, we would.
Yeah, they know it'd be well. I saw people put it on the spot.
Great, very good.
Come on in here, ladies, get right to the middle there. Great job.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, your chair, Bert.
Okay.
But this one fall out. So this-
Oh, okay.
No.
Go ahead, Bobby, that's fine.
Get in there.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Or still up. That's me. Have a great day, now.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next on the agenda, farm to school proclamation.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Good
That's good. Someone's missing school.
Ah,
They have.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are here today with one of the farmers that contributes to the local economy, the farm to school. And so Brenda and her children are here this morning. Her daughter's going to read the farm to school proclamation.
Emily Loomis, Morrison County Health and Human Services. I'm a community health educator.
Carmen Bukowski, Health and Human Services, Community Health Educator.
Brenda Rudolph's son.
Brenda Rudolph, and we are here with our farm raising a farmer today.
Great. So who's gonna read our proclamation for us?
Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian is. You don't want to do it. That's okay.
Everett.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. Boy. You're her protector.
Farm to school enriches the connection communities have with fresh, healthy food and local food products. By changing food purchasing and education practices at school and preschools, and farm to school supports students' access to healthy local food and education opportunities, including school gardens, cooking lessons, and farm field trips. And Morrison County local farmers, farm workers, and social nutrition professionals are key components to our state's vibrant food system, with many expanding their efforts to provide food to our students and families. And whereas farm to school efforts in Morrison County involve state agencies, community partners, academic, oh, that's a big word, academic, farms and school food service programs across the region working together to lift up children, families, and communities as an equitable and inclusive way. And whereas farm to school empowers children and their families to make informed food choices and strengthen the local economy, which contributes to vibrant communities. And whereas during this month, we are show of our support and appreciation to our local food and farming heroes and celebrate Farm to School Month. Now, therefore, the Morrison County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim October as Farm to School Month.
Gentlemen,
Mr. Chair, motion to approve, this month as Farm to School Month.
motion made by Commissioner Blaine,
Second.
second by Commissioner Winter, discussion. Commissioner Winter.
We gotta give Mr. Meadows credit. I mean, great job of reading, standing up to the plate. And it's, very nice and very, commendable for you. Here's my thing with this here farm to school effort. We have a family in front of us here. I believe they're farm family of the year. They're 4-H. I do that. They're very involved in the community. They do tremendous things for other 4-H products. And you can read what they have here. They are just an outstanding farm family, and they support all this here. Not only that, but with staff here, they do a great job. So I'm very much in support of it. So thank you for what you did. Young lady, you gave your best here too. You gave us your name. It's Vivian, right? All right, good job. So thank you.
Commissioner Blaine.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Mr. Chair and fellow members of the board and those in attendance. This is an important day and an important month, but this is an important example of interaction and cooperation. We live in and we're very proud to live in an agricultural county. We're an egg-based county, but we're also a county that has a society that's very in tune with taking care of each other and answering to each other's needs. And this effort, this farm to school effort, is a great example of that interaction within our county, where we have we're highlighting and talking about one family here, but there are others too that help provide these products and these foods that can be utilized within our schools, within our county. And it's that interaction with county staff that we have here, Carmen and Emily, to help facilitate this, this program, this interaction, that not only benefits the egg community, it benefits the children in our schools, it benefits our K-12 school system and preschool system here in Morrison County. So I could not be more proud of Rudolph, but also of our staff for their work, because it takes all of us together working to make this successful. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Casper.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, in this world we live in, there's a lot of processed foods, as we know, and they're not that healthy. So thank you for providing fresh vegetables and fruits. It's sweet. Thank you for all the work you do. Thank you, staff. God bless you all.
Gentlemen, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we get a picture with you? Yes.
Yeah, we should.
Other one?
Just with those five. Not, you don't want to. You know. Bring your box. People have their day. Good morning. Morning. Yeah, I need to know what I'm reading.
Do you want to hold it? You can do that. Okay.
I'm on side this morning.
Yeah, it's early morning.
So. There you go. All right.
Thank you so much.
Taking time.
Thank you.
Enjoy school, what you have left of it. And now he's farming, state, no. Here's the coffee guy. Hopefully, But.
All right. Next, the proclamation, National Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Morning.
Morning.
Everyone sit down.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing this morning?
Everyone introduce ourselves. Amy Middendorf, Morrison County IT Director.
Nick Reed, Systems Administrator. Seth Grabowski, Help Desk Specialist.
Denise Zeck, I'm the security manager.
Brian Kosowski.
Morning.
Are we secure with everybody here?
Yes.
Fix my.
We have the AI.
Sorry, I said it. We'll keep her light today.
Would you like me to read the letter of intent or just read the proclamation?
You can read the letter of intent also, please.
I'll read that, then we'll go to the proclamation. All right, so dear Morrison County Commissioners, October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This month is an opportunity to highlight the importance of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a serious threat to every individual, group, business, school, and government agency. Taking a moment to publicly acknowledge that there are ongoing threats and to remind everyone that there are steps and actions that can be taken every time we are on the internet. This year's national theme is building a cyber strong America. And the key behaviors that will be focused on are teaching employees to avoid phishing scams, requiring strong passwords, requiring multi-factor authentication, updating business software, logging activity and monitor key information, back up your data, encrypt your data, share cyber incidents with CISA, and migrate to the .gov domain. Morrison County will continue to diligently provide training, education, and awareness to all of those that access our county systems to ensure that our data systems are proactively secured and monitored for outsider threats. With the Morrison County Board of Commissioners acknowledging the importance of cybersecurity and supporting the national effort of awareness, this will increase the local awareness to our citizens and staff. And I thank you for all of your support.
Thank you,
Now,
Amy.
Denise, read our proclamation.
Morning, Denise.
Good morning.
Morning.
Commissioners, today we are to present to you the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month proclamation for October 2025. Whereas Morrison County recognizes that it has a vital role in identifying, protecting citizens from, and responding to cybersecurity threats that may have significant impact to our individual and collective safety and privacy. And whereas the United States business and government entities that own, operate, and support critical infrastructure are the front line against successful cyber intrusions. And whereas cybersecurity education and awareness are crucial for everyone, including large companies, small businesses, financial institutions, schools, government agencies, the home user, and anyone who connects to the internet. And whereas taking these 4 essential steps: 1, update your software; 2, use strong passwords and password manager; 3, turn on multi-factor authentication wherever possible; 4, recognize and report phishing scams. And whereas the campaign theme, Building a Cyber Strong America, serves as a campaign to highlight the need to strengthen the country's infrastructure against cyber threats, ensuring resilience and security, which reminds us that simple actions
make a big difference. Together, we can help protect against online threats and protect the systems we rely on every day, including critical infrastructure. And whereas maintaining the security of cyberspace is a shared responsibility in which each of us has a critical role to play. And awareness of cyber hygiene will improve the security of Morrison County's information infrastructure and economy. And whereas the federal government of the United States of America, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, the National Association of State Chief Information Office, and the National Cybersecurity Alliance all recognize October as a National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and all citizens are encouraged to visit these websites to learn about cybersecurity, to put knowledge into practice in their homes, schools, workplaces, and businesses. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, Denise. Great job.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, switch the board.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve this proclamation supporting National Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Commissioner Winter?
This is one that I always got kind of thrown in one side with the internet stuff. It's just getting so the technology, and again, you guys, ladies do such a great job for it all here. You don't even, you're almost scared to even open your cell phone up or whatever, just because somebody's gonna scare you. I was like, and my question was, and I forgot it, because that's what age does to me here, you know, so, but when we look at all this, it's just getting more and more complicated, and you guys are staying ahead of the game, which I think is great, but you don't bring up AI, but this is being part of that too. You hear that on the news now, that, you know, you can have somebody, your wife or your kids calling you, and it's not even them. So again, appreciate what you do, and at the end of the day, you guys want to go through my phone here, and stuff. That's just. Again, thank you, what you do. You got a great staff here, and someone to be proud.
Thank you, Commissioner Winter. Commissioner Blaine?
Mr. Chair, I'll just say briefly, we recognize the utilization of technology within our organization to help us be efficient, to be effective, and really to help us better serve the people of Morrison County. But with that utilization of technology, it opens the door for people who don't have the best interest of our people and workers at mind. And that's where we take this time to make sure we recognize and understand the tasks that all of you put forth every day in helping people like myself, I mean, the rest of the board and all of our employees here, but really the people of Morrison County, because bad things that happen within our organization affect all of the people of Morrison County and beyond. And so we're grateful for your work and your commitment to that, so that we can utilize technology to better serve our people. So thank you.
Commissioner Casper?
Mr. Chair, yeah, I just echo Commissioner Blaine and Commissioner Winter's words. You guys, I for one know very little about technology, and I really admire you folks, because without you, we'd be in the hurt bag. Thank you for being there. Thank you for your wisdom in your jobs. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Commissioner Casper. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everything.
Photo, are we gonna get a picture of these guys?
Yeah.
We'll get them very often, so.
You get them all here.
Get all five of you together here at once.
Yeah, that's like having the president, vice president, same place.
I was gonna say, I'm the short one.
I didn't even.
Hello.
Still, we can stick and get in the front row, Tony.
Scoot over here. Good, thanks, Ryan. Well, maybe
Thanks to you guys for taking some time.
Just make sure you don't draw it up.
That's all right. Draw me on one of these things.
So,
Okay, right in the middle.
Can you see Bobby or should we switch?
No, that's good. I don't want to.
All right, everybody's fine.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Guys, God bless you guys. Yeah.
You guys were safe. Oh, darn. Thanks. Next up before us is HRA, Housing Redevelopment Authority.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
as Laura Lee comes up, I just wanted to remind the board, part of what brings her here before today is the board is asked to hear from our other agencies that receive funding through levy dollars throughout the year to get a program update. Some of those agencies that requested an increase came before the board as part of the budget process. In HRA's case, there was none. So thank you for coming in to provide an update, and her, along with the others that didn't ask for an increase, will come throughout the year to provide that to the board.
Thank you, Administrator Law. Good morning, Laura Lee.
Morning.
Good morning.
It's all yours.
Okay. I supplied you with a bullet point of information that you probably won't understand. There's a lot of acronyms in there. But if you have questions at all about what the program is or the population that we're funding, ask, I can explain it as I go, but sometimes I get a little bit fast and think that you know everything that I know and might not.
Very good.
So right now the government is on shutdown, which you all know. So for us at the HRA, what that means is that I can no longer, while the shutdown is in place, add any vouchers. So when households go off the program, I can't replace them. We're on hold until the shutdown is lifted. Currently, the HUD staff is at 84% furloughed. We're working at minimal. I'm considered essential, so I'm working. October and November are obligated, December is not, so hopefully that the shutdown is fixed prior to that. In past years, it didn't take this long for it to be passed. I believe it was the longest 2 months. Approaching 2 months is what we were shut down 6 years ago. Changes that they're wanting for Section 8 are 2-year limits and proposed budget cuts between the Republicans are 54% is what they want to cut us to. And Democrats is 85% of what our current obligations are, which would drastically change our program. They're wanting more stringent guidelines, such as 2-year limits, which I'm in agreement to that. I believe that households that are not elderly disabled should have some sort of limit. We have some households that have been on since the 80s. EHV families, currently we have 3. That program is going away. EHV is emergency housing choice vouchers. You have to be homeless and disabled in order to qualify for those. They didn't find a very positive outcome from that program, so they're transitioning all of those households into Section 8. Those families could have felonies, and in Morrison County, we are not accepting any felonies. So the individuals that we currently have, the 3 do not have felonies, so they can transition right into Section 8. So they won't be losing their housing. Currently, we have 16 mainstream non-elderly disabled vouchers. So that is anyone under the age of 62, they have to get Social Security or GA to qualify for that program. We have 88 housing choice vouchers, 14 are obligated for project-based vouchers, which we obligated those 14 to the Views on 7th when that community is built. 14 of our 131 vouchers are going to go into that community. 107 current households are being served, including the 14 project-based, which would equal 121 vouchers. And then I broke it down for you because I figured you would want to know how many households we're serving that are elderly, disabled, and disabled. So we have 45 elderly disabled, 79 disabled, and 28 families that are non-elderly disabled. Currently, we have 266 households on the wait list. 24 potential to be added when the shutdown is lifted, and those will have to be non-elderly vouchers. We also have 19 shared vouchers with Todd County, and I'm asking Kim to split that. She's the director in Todd County. Currently, she has the majority of them. And when she has openings in her Section 8 program, I am asking that she transfer those individuals to that program so that Morrison County receives half of those vouchers. Right now, we have 3. Minnesota was also had, I had wrote in for a grant for the Brain Home vouchers, and we were awarded $263,938, which $58,800 is for startup costs. That will roughly bring to Morrison County 10 additional vouchers. I'm hoping that I'm going to put those project-based vouchers into the Bring It Home Minnesota funds. That way our Section 8 program can free up those additional vouchers. Currently, we have 4 families that are ported out. Are you all familiar with the porting out process? No. So the port out process is, since they're federal obligated funds, any household can request a port out to another jurisdiction anywhere in the United States. Currently, we have 4 families that have poured out, 1 to California, 1 to St. Cloud, and 2 to Todd County. The ones that are in Todd County, they reside in the building where my office is. So just to save conflict of interest, I port them out to Todd County. When they're in Washington or California or another state, we have to pay those rental costs, which can be very problematic. We at times had some households that were paying $2,800, $2,900, which would hold up 4 to 5 vouchers here in Morrison County. So I'm very active in calling those agencies, bugging them, having them absorb those vouchers. And usually they do because they don't want me to call every day. I work hard at that. In Morrison County, the costs for rents have been going up astronomically. Our landlords will call me and ask me, how high can I charge? How much money can we get? I'm refusing to answer those questions to the landlords because our rents are going up to $1,700 a month, $2,200 in some cases, which that doesn't qualify for the Section 8 program. If you tell me how much you want for rent, I can tell you if it works for the program or not. So I try to advocate for the landlords as well. If a client does destroy a unit, there is some saving grace for them. If that client does destroy that unit, they have to sign a repayment agreement with my office and the landlord to repay that amount before they're helped in a new household. So we're not leaving the landlords to dry. And then I gave an average of what our costs are. So right now we're obligated $52,000 is what we're paying. And we have 107 households, which is $492.72 average. That was for October. The problem that we have run into with the increasing amounts of rents is we're overspending $10,722 per month on rents that are going out. We have a reserve of $98,000 in Morrison County that's held in the HUD bank. So each month when I go negative, I reach out to HUD and I say, hey, I need this much money. So in juggling the costs that the landlords are increasing rents, I have to stay within the budget of $42,000 a month is where we need to be.
And that's how HUD wants you to do it, right?
Yes, they say Morrison County is obligated 131 vouchers. I cannot be at 131 vouchers because we would be way over.
Any questions, Emma? I just want to say that she is a little pit bull when it comes to trying to get them homes that poured out, to get them off of her book. She does a wonderful job at that. She also likes to concentrate on Morrison County residents and elderly and veterans. And another thing that she didn't bring up is she has to inspect every one of these places that people stay at. You want to give them a little, what you have to do with the inspection process?
So HUD changed the inspection rules that we can go to a house 1, 2, or 3 years. We have chosen to go to the homes every other year. Any new client that comes in, I go out to their unit every year. So I go out and I inspect their homes and we look for safety issues. A lot of the tenants think that when I go out and inspect that I can request like blinds or cosmetic things that just are not. We are the basic inspections when we go through the units.
I inspect like the boiler, the water heaters, make sure there's no leaks, the roofs, the basements, septics, and make sure that they're in safe, affordable housing.
Smoke alarm.
Smoke alarm fire, yes.
So when you go out and inspect, you don't look at, okay, there are holes in the walls from the tenants, all that stuff. Or if there is, do you report that back to the tenant or to the landlord or not?
I make a note of it, and when the landlord and the tenant separate, the landlord can ask me, but I don't volunteer that information to the landlord because then the landlord would kick out the client potentially, and they would become compliant. So as needed, if the landlords do, and they know that, if they call in and ask me, hey, how did the inspection go? I'll let them know this is what I've seen. If there's excessive damages, then absolutely I do.
And then my another question, this money that they get, does that go into their account or does that go into the landlord?
Directly to the landlord. Same with the utility allowances. Some agencies can give the utility allowances to the client. We do not. We send it right to Minnesota Power or Mini-Gas or CenterPoint now.
Commissioner, Lemire does sit on this board and he does a great job, just you, Lori. When someone outside the county, and again, I know we go after, residents of Morris County, which is a great thing, but if somebody from out of state, whatever comes in, you have 266 people waiting for a wait list. And let's say I'm from out of the county or whatever, and I put my report in years ago, do I keep going back to the list and you have a priority for Morrison County, or can you do that? Or if I've been sitting on this for 2 or 3 years, are you forced then to give me the voucher?
We have preferences that have points. So I changed the preference points within our program. Morrison County and Todd County clients get 4 points. Elderly get a point, disabled get a point, veterans get a point, victims of domestic violence get a point. So with that additional 4 points, if we're getting lower on the wait list, I reach out to agencies and say, hey, do you have any applicants that we can get to apply to the program so that we don't have to house somebody that's in, we have a huge problem of people from Chicago, Minneapolis coming in and wanting vouchers to take them back to their jurisdiction. So with those points, I don't see any of them being housed.
And what I said, one last question.
Yes.
So if that person comes from Chicago and they get into our program, are they forced to stay here for a length of time, or do they get the voucher, stay a month, and then now we're gonna be paying for them in Chicago, California? How is that?
1 year.
So they have to be here at least 1 year.
Yes, and we also did a residency policy as well, that before they can apply to become a Morrison County resident, because some will just come here and say, oh, I'm a resident. They have to reside here for 60 days prior to applying and getting the 4 points.
Great information. Thank you.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Commissioner Blaine.
First of all, thank you, Commissioner Lemire, for your work and oversight on the HRA board, and then certainly to the board members, there's board members from each of our districts that serve there, but especially thanks to Laura Lee and for your work and the challenge within this work. And I kind of feel a little bit not up to date with things here too. And I guess the realization is starting to hit home here for me in the amount of need that there is for housing that's reflected in your work here. And I'm looking at this at 266 households on a wait list for help here. And I look at that as being significant. I look at the amount of funds that you've got to manage and deal with in an effort to help these people in our counties to find housing and to have acceptable housing here too. There's a lot going on at your agency at HRA. that we probably don't, that we probably don't focus enough maybe on. And I look at this and then I look at your work in getting grant dollars there to significant dollars to make an impact here too. So I'm grateful that you're here today and with this update. And recognize the work that you're doing and you have my thanks and appreciation and all I can say is keep up the good fight. So appreciate it.
Anything else, commissioners? Very good. Well, thank you, Laura Lee. Great report. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Great day. Thank you.
9.
Okay. Auditor treasurer, TIF public hearing.
Morning, Mr.
Morning.
Good morning, Sean.
Shannon Floyd, the Auditor Treasurer's Office. So we're here this morning to hold a public hearing for anyone who wants to come in and make any comments towards the proposed TIF plan for Valley Hardwoods. Excuse me, the public hearing, this is a joint public hearing between RDFA and County Board, and the RDFA was published for 10. Yes, RDFA is not here and neither is Mr. Butcher.
Okay, so you published it for 10.
Yeah.
All right, well then,
Just
should we continue with the?
with the agenda and just bypass this item and come back to Mr. Chair.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Greg.
One, Nate. No. Oh, human services report. Morning, Nate. Morning, get the butt a couple. All right.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Bertram, Health and Human Services Director. So I'm coming back here before you today as follow-up from some of our budget session discussions, specifically in regards to IDEMA, which provides, that's the parent company for Identigo, which is the fingerprinting company that does the background studies for our child cares, adult foster cares, in Morrison County and the region. And looking at that program was not found to be cost effective. And so what I would be looking for from the board today would be approval to send a 90-day notice to IDEMA, ending our contract for providing that service in Morrison County. I will note that I did send the full contract to County Attorney Mittendorf for his review and just to double check that we're not missing anything in the 90 days. And he said that he concurs that the 90-day notice is all that is needed. And so with that, I will turn it to you for questions regarding this.
Thank you, Nate. Commissioners? Remember this discussion? Is everybody up for what he's asking here?
Yeah, just have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Casper.
Thank you. What is the savings to Morrison County by dropping the fingerprinting?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Casper. So the cost savings will be in staff time specifically. Our revenues from providing the service were roughly $3,000 to $5,000 a year. Pending, and the staff time it takes to provide this is about a half FTE of office support time in a year. That's on average, obviously. Some months are higher and some months are. So roughly 20 to 30,000 in staff train savings.
Okay, the staff is running pretty tight already, so this will be a game changer for you.
Yes, and part of that larger conversation was evaluating this team and do we need to keep it at its current capacity? And that conversation also came in with some of the electronic document management system potential in the future that we might look to reduce the staff in this area. So the latter part of that is a conversation for a later board meeting at some point, but this is kind of step one in taking that direction in my mind.
Very good. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Bring up the dollar amount for what the cost is. What's the cost of staff? And you just say time, would you have like a, is it cost of the county $1 million or a dollar? You know,
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Winter, that's cost estimate, that 20 to 30,000, that's the rough cost of a half of a FTE in office support. They vary depending on how long they've been here. So they kind of run a spectrum, but
so by us eliminating this, what consequences or what pushback are we gonna have from public? Whoever used it, do you think we're gonna get some pushback about having this?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Winter, that is a good question. And so I've been in some conversations with Sourcewell. Sourcewell does the oversight for all our foster care and our child licensing. And so we've been in some conversations because really if Morrison County decides to stop doing this, that means there is one site in Aiken, one site in Stearns County, and I believe there's one site in Washington that I just learned about in this last week. So it does provide a gap. So IDEMA is supposed to be in charge of recruiting new providers. Quite frankly, I'm not super impressed with their business processes. That's a different story, but they have not been reaching out to other providers to provide this in the region. Talking with Sourcewell, they do like a mobile fingerprinting clinic. I just went to this last week. I don't know much about it. I did talk with the other Region 5 directors about if we could do like a once a month that kind of goes around the 5-county area. And so we're looking further into that and how to maybe implement that in the future.
And then, Mr. Chair, but I got a little background on IDEMA too. I would be against voting for this, but based on what I found out about them, they're not too proactive in trying to do this here for us. So if they're not proactive with others, to me, it seems like this is a no-brainer, and I think I'll be voting for this.
Any other questions? Go switch the board.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve and support Mr. Bertram's request for us to exit this contract with IDEMA.
Motion by Commissioner Blaine. Second by Commissioner Casper, discussion? Just roll call.
Doesn't need to be, Mr. Chair.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is that it? Thanks, Nate. Thanks for your work on now.
So, Mr. Chair, proposed land services.
Very good. Land services.
Just on time.
Very good. Good morning, Amy. Great.
One item for you today, and that is to consider the conditional use permit from request from Jeff and Michelle Waldvogel. And this is to allow a fourth dwelling within a quarter. This was recommended for approval by the planning commission at their last meeting.
Go to the board.
I'll make a motion to approve. There's no conditions for that, basically.
No conditions were recommended.
Motion by Commissioner Winters.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Moran, discussion? So right now it's 3 per quarter,
That's correct.
and this 4 per quarter, and this lot is like 13.5 acres.
That's correct, yes.
All right. Any other discussion?
I guess
Commissioner Winter?
I think Commission, they came well prepared to put this out there so you couldn't ask for a better application.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Oh, is there a motion second?
Yep.
Yeah, good motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right. That's all I have. Mr.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Need me around today?
Yes, I'll be back for the public hearing.
Thanks.
Should we take a break?
Mr. Chair, it's 9:49. We've got 11 minutes before the advertised time for RDFA and public hearing. I am gonna request to go into closed session. That's also on the report here. There's committee reports, so maybe if it took 10, then we'd come back on to the schedule here.
So we're gonna,
Yep, we'll recess for 10
we
minutes.
can do the committee reports if you'd like to get that out of the way.
It's entirely
Yeah, let's get that out
yours.
of the way. Who's up? It is Commissioner Blaine.
Wow. We had dates of
October 13th through October 24th.
13th through the 24th.
Yep.
On October 14th, we will have the planning session at 8:30 in the morning, and that evening at 6 PM, there is a planning commission board of adjustments meeting. On Thursday, the 16th, the Egg Society will meet in the courthouse here in the courthouse meeting room here at 7 PM. On the 21st, Tuesday, the 21st, at 9 o'clock, the county board will meet. And on Thursday, the 23rd, at 5:30, the full corporation will meet at Region 5. And at 6 o'clock, the commission meeting for Region 5 will take place. And this will be a source of 10 minutes.
What's the name of the meeting at 5:30?
That's the full corp, so that's the, so that meeting at 5:30 is a meeting between NCEDA and the Region 5 Commission, and then at 6 o'clock, it will just be the commission meeting.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, that would be all I have for that time.
Commissioner Blaine, Commissioner Casper?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I don't know if it's, to be mentioned, but special session for the healthcare on the
Yeah.
14th. And then I just have two others this week. Thursday, the 16th, noon airport meeting. And then also on the 21st, which is Tuesday, at 1800 Great River Regional Library. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Very good, thank you. Commissioner Witcher?
On the 15th, the Fall Township meeting will be held at 7 PM.
On the 15th?
Yeah, and we're all invited to go, so that's coming up. And then on the 24th, I have soil and water in Lone Falls at the fire, and that covers me.
Thank you. Councilor Moran?
Wednesday, the 15th, 5 o'clock virtual with Hands of Hope. And Monday, October 20th is the District 5 AMC at Mora, Minnesota, 8 o'clock in the morning. And Thursday, October 23rd at 5:30 with TCC in town.
Thank you. All I have to add is on the 15th, public health advisory meeting, 5 o'clock.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Last week I had asked, for a special session for October 14th at 8:30. That's no longer necessary, so that special session will be canceled and we'll just go straight into planning.
Okay, so, thank you. Anything else, gentlemen? We're gonna take a short recess until 10 o'clock.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
That's, I guess, document one, six, one, three, like,
Peter, Matt LeBlanc here. Can you hear me?
What do you think? I don't know. I mean, someone's empty else.
Peter, can you hear me?
People with that flat up too. No, there was like the board meeting already on work. I'll fall for their buying, so I can go. I agree.
Good morning, Peter. Can you hear me?
Trump's.
I do not see your head moving.
When there's neither, not the one.
From Canada.
How about now, Peter? Can you hear me? Peter? Can you hear me?
And Chuck? Oh, it's part of mine. Oh, Herman, yes, yes. Oh, going into Arrowhead substation. Yeah. Going all.
Peter, can you hear me?
Which Dakota North? Was it 345?
Yeah. It was part of the, I think it's like, then green and you know, coming. So.
One, two, one, two, one, two. One, two, one, two. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Everybody's all that.
Yeah. Red on top.
Hear me now?
Look at that, 1003.
Can you hear me now? Amy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Saw you cue up your mic.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want us to do? Ready for this one?
We are, Mr. Chair.
Are we gonna do that?
But I said, are we
doing
doing?
Cheryl, if you'd like to have a seat, your board, please. I'm gonna recess.
Take over.
All right, the Morris County,
I don't think he comes forward. Let's have a seat, Mr. Watuki, please. Thank you.
Morris County Board of Commissioners, public hearing, joint public hearing with RDFA and Morris County Board of Commissioners will come to order. The main purpose of this meeting is to obtain citizen input about the proposed creation of a new tax increment financing district for Valley Hardwoods. Public feedback will help guide the county's decision-making process and ensure community interests are considered. To facilitate the process and to make sure that everyone who wishes to speak has an opportunity to do so, the commissioners ask that the following rules be followed. Rules of order. If you wish to speak, raise your hand or stand. After the chairperson recognizes you, you may move to the microphone. All persons wishing to be heard must come to the microphone. They must give their complete name and address. After 3 minutes, the board chair will ask you to wrap things up and bring your comments to a close. If the views of the group are being expressed, one spokesperson is asked to speak as a group representative. All comments must address the county board and all questions must be directed to the board chair. Speakers may use specific examples to illustrate their points of view, but without an opportunity to review all information, staff may not be prepared to answer all questions. Questions or comments from the audience are not allowed without having been acknowledged by the board chair. The board reserves the right to question any speaker regarding their comments. The board also reserves the right to question staff regarding any comments made at the hearing. At the conclusion of all testimony, the public hearing comment period will be closed. The board asks that you limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. These guidelines are intended to outline the process, preserve the order, and give everyone the opportunity to speak. The commissioners ask that the opinions of everyone be treated with respect. No interruptions, please. Everyone who wishes to speak will have an opportunity to do so. Only testimony or questions related to the relevant topic will be discussed. All other comments will be referred to the appropriate agency or department. So we got that out of the way. I'll pass it off to you, Carol.
Well, just to open it up, Mr. Watuki owns Valley Hardwoods, and it's not in an incorporated city limits. So that's why we're coming to the RDFA and Morrison County to request a tax increment financing district so he can do his expansion of his wood business. He has used TIF once years before when he did his major building. Everything paid off on time, no problems. And so he's coming back again, and I think it's like a $1.2 million project. And that's why we're here today. Mr. Watuki is in the audience in case you have any specific questions for him. And with that, and I'm Carol Anderson from Community Development. And we have Jason Murray here today to talk about the TIF plan and what's happening with that.
Very good. Good morning, Ms. Murray.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Again, just to give you a quick review of this TIF plan, it is an economic development TIF district, which means a 9-year TIF district. It is a one parcel in support of Valley Hardwoods. If created, this TIF district would run through 2035 and would automatically decertify on 12/31/2035 upon completion of the TIF district. Members of the board, you're holding this public hearing again in support of the RDFA. As it is with past TIF districts, the county has to give its blessing to RDFA activities, and the RDFA will ultimately be the responsible party to administer and adhere to this TIF district and that. So today's procedural process with the county is for the county to hold a public hearing and then ultimately give its blessing to the creation of the TIF district.
Very good. Anybody want to add anything to that? If not, then I will open the public hearing at this time. I will call 3 times for comments, after which we will close the meeting and we will have action on this. Is there anybody here to speak for or against this tax increment financing district? Number 2, is there anybody here to speak for or against this tax increment financing district? Third and last call, is anybody here to speak for or against this tax increment financing district? Hearing none. Do we have any written comments?
We do not, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Hearing none, I will close this public hearing. What is the wish of the board? Oh, now you guys have to go and have your own separate meeting, correct?
That's it, Mr. Chair. This would close the requirements of the public hearing.
So I will close this public hearing.
And which room do we go to, you said?
Admin large.
Which
It's
is,
available.
Okay. Have a
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
All right, all I got, and we are in,
So, are you two going to join them?
We need to.
Okay.
I think we need to be.
Then your call, Mr. Chair, we've got quorum. We could continue with a closed session. Or the other item on the agenda is to come back and hear from Auditor Treasurer at the conclusion of the RDFA meeting.
okay, we'll take a recess until they return.
Okay.
I think they should be part of that closed session.
And Mr. Chair, they're not gonna be gone for an hour,
No.
probably a few minutes just to bring.
Should be about 5 more minutes. Another 5 minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair.
Let them go to the bathroom. Commissioners, we will resume our meeting. Carol?
Yes, Mr. Chair, the RDFA just met and they voted to approve the TIF district.
Very good. Shannon, you got anything?
Okay, so I'm here then to present the resolution for approving the establishment of tax increment financing district number 3-5 within municipal development district number 3 and the adoption of the tax increment financing plan relating thereto. Whereas the Morrison County RDFA has requested that Morrison County, Minnesota approve the creation tax increment financing district number 3-5 within municipal development district number 3 and the adoption of a tax increment financing plan with respect thereto, all pursuant to and in accordance with Minnesota statutes section 469.124 through 469.134, inclusive as amended, and Minnesota statutes section 469.1674 to 469.1794, collectively the act. And the Morrison County Board held a public hearing October 7th, 2025 upon published and required notice as required by law. Now therefore it be resolved by the Morrison County Board as follows. Tax increment financing district number 3-5. The county hereby approves the establishment of the tax increment financing district number 3-5, the boundaries of which are fixed and determined as described in the tax increment financing plan.
Thank you, Shannon. What's the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion for more discussion.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion, a second discussion. Mr. Winter.
Thank you. Two questions. The first question is, again, I know the answer for it, but again, for the audience, what, is there a downfall of TIF for the public, for the residents?
Commissioner, hey, it's a tool used to promote economic development. The only downfall that you have is that you're tying up your tax base on that potential new building or the new value of it and redirecting it into an economic development assistance. And so the downfall is you are postponing the collection of the increment or taxes associated with that new value if the project happens. And so the question is with or without the assistance with this, would this project move forward?
And now I'm gonna have two more.
Go ahead.
To follow up with that, if any business or anything, they decide to file bankruptcy or whatever, I think RDFA, Carol, this is for you. Is it a guarantee that, hey, we're gonna still get our taxes? Yes, no, maybe?
Carol.
Commissioner Wincher, this is pay as you go. Okay, so it's every year he gets payment. Now, that's tied to property taxes. So therefore, say they go bankrupt, a business goes bankrupt, they still have to pay their property taxes. Whether it be after the foreclosure, all of that, before you can transfer property, the back taxes have to be paid and then you get paid.
Great answer. And my last question.
go ahead.
for this, does, I believe it's just for anybody out of the city limits, but not only that, but is there businesses that are, in the county out that will come and apply for TIF and you decide, oh, no, they're not gonna qualify? That's a question. I have no idea, so.
Well, Commissioner Wincher, the reason for this one is because it's outside of a city limits. Normally, 90% of what you see is inside a city limits. So there's probably, Swanville Ready Mix is one that we have. And then we had the one for Mr. Watuki before, and I think, now this is before my time, so it's a long time ago. I think we did one up in Motley. So it's very rare that the county has to come in and do something or be requested. Also, when you look at TIF districts, it depends on what the business is doing. you really can't do retail TIF unless it's for a redevelopment district. You got a building that's falling down or, you know, whatever. But manufacturing, which is the shortest district, and then housing are the most common ones.
Thank you, and Mr. Albert, yield to you, but I will be voting yea on this here.
What was that last comment?
I said I'll be voting for this, yeah, yea on this.
Okay. Commissioner Plain?
Mr. Chair, you know, I'll just say that, Mr. Murray, really kind of underlined, this effort here. This is a tool, Carol, also highlighted, this is a tool that is not used regularly, and that the county board is not regularly have to act upon. This is a tool that's only been taken out of the toolbox maybe 3 or 4 times in our memory. But this is still a very important tool within that lens of economic development. And I think that when we look at the importance of assisting business in economic development, the winners in this are the rest of the taxpayers of Morrison County. We every year in our budget process, we look, one of those key things we look at that's not talked about, that affects our levy is the amount of new development, new construction within our county, and the economic impact that has on the levy, and that impact to taxpayers. So we're all very aware of how much economic development has on controlling what we ask the taxpayers to pay every year. And so that's why when I came onto this board, that became one of the most important aspects of my look into governance was how could I help impact Morrison County in the economic development sector, because it has a direct impact to the taxpayers of Morrison County. And so I support utilization of this tool without reservation, and certainly without any leverage there. And I applaud the RDFA for their support of this also, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Blaine. Anybody else have any comments? I have a question. He still pays his taxes, right? It goes to you and then you give back for his economic development, correct?
Right, Mr. Chair, the way it works is he has to pay his taxes, same as always. It comes into your office and then they say, here is what you have to rebate back as in Swanville Ready Mix. And I think that's twice a year. And then the RDFA rebates that portion. The rest of the taxes that he pays on the old part, you keep.
Right, it's just that increment,
That's
that
right.
increase in the tax base.
That's correct.
I had Shannon look up some numbers for me, and before his first district, he was paying $4,099 on that piece of property. After he built his establishment, it went to $19,500. It was decertified in 2017. It was supposed to be decertified in 2018, but it was closed a year earlier than it was supposed to. And we've been collecting $20,000 to $25,000 on that property since 2017 that we would have never collected if he wouldn't have got the tax increment financing district.
Exactly.
Today, with this new $1.2 million that he's investing, we're gonna see another 21,000, I believe, or I don't know exact numbers, but I do have them right here. That in 8-9 years, the increment is $24,750. Well, after that, you'll be paying approximately $50,000 a year after 8 years. That's the whole purpose of this tax increment financing district, because it gives the opportunity for invest, stuff's so expensive nowadays too. It gives them the opportunity to build. We want people to build because we want our tax base to increase. And this is a simple one because it's 9 years. It's not a housing development where it's 23, 25 years. Those are scary. Those, you got to think a little bit more before you make that decision. But this is 9 years. That'll be gone before you know it. And instead of 24,000, he'll be paying 49,000. And it spreads out to the tax base.
And Mr. Chair, if I may, not to interrupt you.
No, I think I'm done.
I look at the success of the most recent action that we took, and that was since I came on this board with the Swanville Ready Mix, and I look at the economic impact that that's had on Morrison County. Yes, this is took place in the western part of the county. But the growth in number of employees, the growth in deliverable services and goods within Morrison County and outside of Morrison County, and the success of that is without question that decision made at that time was the right decision. I feel confident that passage of this will also be the right decision.
Any other comments, questions, gentlemen? Anything else you'd like to add, Carol, Shannon? Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. This will be a roll call. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Commissioner Casper?
Nay.
Commissioner Winter?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Nay.
Myself, Commissioner Mears, aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, now, gentlemen, we're gonna go into closed session.
Just prior to, Mr. Chairman, I have a first item on the administrator's report. If we can discuss the county's healthcare plan for 2026, health insurance plan for 2026 and rate sheet, I would appreciate it.
You have it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Miss Beth Berg.
Oh, yeah, especially if it's Beth delivering the news. Sorry about all this goof ups I'm doing tonight.
No, this is an unusual meeting.
I got Matt's here.
Thank you, Beth.
You weren't here. I look for you for guidance and you wasn't here.
How dare I?
I was on my phone trying to find something. Get on, Matt. Look up, he's gone. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. If you recall, a few weeks ago, we discussed where our insurance committee was regarding our rates for 2026. I just want to start off by saying that, the committee has done a lot of hard work. We've come to an agreement, and before you, on the opposite side of that RBA is the 2026 rate sheet. This is slightly different than what you had seen before. We had a reduction in the HSA contributions and the HRA contributions, primarily through the opt-out and single coverage, which are subsidizing the difference in the employee plus plans. The goal of the insurance committee was to make insurance affordable for all employees, also to help in our recruitment and retention for our staff, and to increase consumerism in our health insurance plans. The committee has come to an agreement in that the reduction in the single tiers for the HRA and HSA would roll over into the employee plus plans to lower their costs. Along with that, we have agreed to a straight percentage of the premium increase, currently 70, 75, and 80 in their respective tiers. And so the opt-out has been reduced to $200. There will be no new enrollments allowed, so over time, I think we will phase that out. To what degree or what level will be determined. We are up for bid next year for year 27 in our health insurance plan, so 26 is our last year with Health Partners. And so the insurance committee is making a recommendation for the board to approve the 2026 health insurance rates that are before you. Any questions?
We need to, you want us to act on this, right?
Yes,
Judge
please.
Timmy, what's the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we approve the 2026 health insurance rates as it was provided and is in front of us right now.
I can second that. Mr.
Second by
Chair.
Commissioner Casper. First by Commissioner Blaine. Discussions? Commissioner Winter.
Again, Beth, you're doing a great job in this. I don't know how you do it, but this is one of the most confusing things that I think a staff member has to go through. So next year, if we're putting this out for bid, we'll be going through this whole process next year for 2027, or does that work a little? Because if we bid it out, then Joe Blow Insurance Company says we'll be low bidder. Do we have to come to the board and say we'll take it, or do you have a committee that says, is this what we do?
Right. So if you recall, Morrison County is part of the Logis pool through Gallagher, which is our brokerage firm for our health insurance. And so with the mix of counties and cities that are combined in that group, we will go out. Well, Gallagher will go out for bid to different medical providers. And then depending upon what we receive back, the Logis committee will determine a range of plans that can be available. And then typically Gallagher, if you recall, for these last 5 years, we've had a rate cap of 9.5%. Ideally, we would like that to continue, but now that we're open for bid, it's kind of hard to say what insurance is going to look like for 27. With the work that we've done for 26 and the cost is less for employees and their families. We're hoping that we'll have larger numbers of enrollment, which will help us in the market and get reasonable rates for premiums. The more lives you have, generally the more book of business and the lower the rates tend to be. So outside of them, Gallagher looking at just Morrison County, we'll look at it as a pool. And I'm a member of that Logis committee, so I get to continue to work through to see, have a say in what works best for Morrison County and our staff. So that'll be going out, and then they'll present us all their results, and then we'll talk with the committee, and the insurance committee meets every year internally to discuss, what's coming for the upcoming year.
Normally, if I may, normally this health is a 2-year or a 3-year?
Typically, we strive for a 3-year. We were able to get the rate cap with Health Partners at 9.5% for a 2-year extension. So that's why we've stuck with them. We typically go out for RFPs every 5 years is the requirement. So
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Mr. Casper?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I was just going to say, Beth, were you able to keep these numbers more reasonable just because the experience rate at Morrison County is very good?
Right. So the way the Logis pool is, it's on a band system. So A to E, it's reverse. A is awful. E is excellent. We are again in band E for 26, as we have been for 25. So I think if you recall, as Matt stated before, so since we didn't have any movement, we stayed in the same band. So we didn't see as great of cost savings as somebody moving from, A to D or what have you. So we did cap out at 9.2%. So for the county.
That was
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Beth, I want to change your last name to Houdini. You have worked, well, and the rest of the committee, you've done an incredible job here. This is Yeah, this is mind bending and you worked through it. Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else?
Thank
Any
you,
other
Mr.
questions?
Chair. Mr. Chair, if I
Commissioner
may,
Bland.
and I apologize
No,
for
no.
interrupting.
No, no.
I know better.
It's fine.
Our insurance increase, 2026 over 2025 is 9.2%. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. And that's with us being in the E pool.
Correct.
Yeah. This is a tremendous challenge in these times, and every organization I sit on the board with is looking at increases anywhere between 10 and 14%. And this is something that becomes a bigger challenge for us going forward here, how we balance this as part of that total compensation package to our employees out there, and that in an area where this is having a constant increase in costs. So I applaud the work that you've done, Beth, and the entire insurance committee here within the organization, and certainly to Mr. LeBlanc, for helping build that understanding within the organization and within all the employees here. And we are at a point now where we have a product we can all get behind for a year.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Anything else, Sean?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I would be remiss if I didn't commend Beth on the work that she did, along with the entire insurance committee. This was a collective effort, a Herculean of sorts. We would have over 25 members of the staff there to try to help us determine how we can best present an option here for Morrison County. This is significant. This is a very significant change across our plan. Instead of increases, which is very typical year after year, there were decreases to the monthly contribution of the employee. That makes us competitive. That will get us for recruitment and retention. It is a significant change, and I want to highlight that it was largely done because of the subsidies of the employees themselves. So our singles and our opt-outs took a decrease in their monthly contribution to apply to our employee plus plans. And that's a big deal to me. It was remarkable to see that come about, and to see how employees move forward in support of others. And knowing maybe one day they start today as a single, they may end up with a family or an employee plus or child. But this is a big deal for Morrison County. This puts us right up front with being competitive in the area, and couldn't have been done without a collective effort.
Thank you, Matt. On that note, singles, they don't pay anything, do they?
Correct.
Okay. That's something that we might have to start thinking about.
Correct.
And so to that point, Mr. Chair, and what I was describing, they previously paid nothing, but they had higher contributions to the HSA and HRA. So those amounts have been reduced, and those reductions have been applied to the employee plus.
Thank you for that. I knew there was something you did there. Thank you.
And
I
That was
totally dropped the ball on
the
that.
equitable.
about, on average, about $500 less a year go into that singles HSA account, and that has now been applied out to the employee plus plans.
Thank you for that, Matt. Did we fall within our projected budget?
Yes.
For 20? Okay.
Yep,
Perfect.
yep. So, if you guys recall, with the current MOU that we have with our insurance groups, is that we were slated to cover 80% of the increase. And we stayed within that range for 2026, and restructuring the plan and how we apply those cafeteria
Very good.
dollars. So,
Thank you for that.
yes.
All right, gentlemen, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? This will be a roll call. Commissioner Casper?
Aye.
Commissioner Wincher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Aye.
Myself, Commissioner Lemire, is on an aye. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you so much for all your
Thank
work on that, Beth.
Appreciate it.
Keep up the good work, Beth.
and whoever else you want.
Absolutely. Oh, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Blaine.
I apologize, and I do have one question for Beth. And I need to write this down. So, the enrollment period for insurance
Oh, yeah.
for this program for all employees and us or those who want to partake will be when?
Sure. So open enrollment is going to open on October 15th and run through November 2nd this year.
October 15th through November 2nd.
Correct. And so today, hopefully I'll be able to get out a save the date. We were waiting anxiously for this to pass before, the insurance committee had a recommendation. I didn't want to project anything or assume that we would be ready to go. And today we are, so we'll be moving forward with those dates.
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. And if anytime you guys need help with anything, you just let us know.
That's all. You've been a big help.
Anything else, ma'am?
One more item, Mr. Chair, before we go into closed session, and that is to receive the board's wishes on setting the 2026 board and planning session dates that we covered last week in planning session. It didn't make it in this week's consent agenda, but if the board.
What's the wish of the board?
Motion to approve the published or pre-published dates that we reviewed a week ago for our 2026 meeting and planning session dates.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion?
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Winter.
We could have someone to send it out in a email so I could take a look at it, because I know you'll send it out and we just have to click on it, but I'd also like, because I'm the paper guy. So.
Absolutely.
You want it on a piece of paper or can it be emailed to you?
Or if you want to print it and leave us a copy in our mailbox, that would be fantastic.
Either way, thank you.
Thank you, Tab. That'd be sweet.
Anything else? Got a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, Mr. Chair, with that, I would request the board to consider moving into closed session to discuss two items. One is an update on the property located at 312 Broadway East that we've been previously discussing. And the second is an update on labor negotiations and strategies pursuant to state statute 13D05.
Mr. Chair, make a motion to move to closed session.
Can second it.
Motion by Commissioner Blaine, second by Commissioner Casper to go into a closed session. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are now in closed session.
Okay, for those on Teams, Peter, Amy, I'm going to end this session. We're going to move into closed session. When we come back, I'll be using this same link for the geographic feature renaming.